Thank you very much. So I welcome you today's class, sir. So you
Thank
can
you.
start your class now, sir.
Okay. Respected Paningrai Babu and Regional Director Tripathi Babu and my dear participants. Good evening to all of you. I am Dr. Hariyar Solangi,
Good evening, sir.
retired professor, GM School of Education, GM University Sambalpur. Today in this session, we shall discuss multicultural classroom. And as a teacher, what should be our role to deal with students in the multicultural classroom? Before going to start on topic, I would like to tell you for 2 to 3 minutes about the program, about our motto, and the purpose for which we are here to participate in this program. As you know, you are here to refresh your knowledge as well as your skill. That is why this program has been organized. And we want to be a better teacher, to be a quality teacher, to be an effective teacher. Question arises, how can a teacher be an effective teacher in the present context? For an effective teacher, there requires 3 qualities. First quality, that is content knowledge. Teacher must be thorough in content knowledge or the knowledge on the subject for which he is dealing with the students in the classroom. Content knowledge is very important. Subject knowledge, in other words, it is called subject knowledge. It is very important. A teacher must be competent enough on subject knowledge or content knowledge. Second, aspect is pedagogical knowledge. Pedagogy, as you know, art of teaching or science of teaching. There are some teachers who are competent enough in subject knowledge, but unable to communicate themselves before the students so that students can understand you, can have an access to your knowledge or what you feel so far as content is concerned. Pedagogical knowledge, because we lack pedagogical knowledge. Pedagogical knowledge, when we talk on pedagogical knowledge, there comes method of teaching, skills of teaching, techniques of teaching. How you communicate yourself before the students so that student will understand what you want to speak to the students. Third one is technological knowledge. Now the society is called science-based technological society, and technology is everywhere, dominating in each and every aspect of our life. That's why technological knowledge is essential. In short, we say CPT knowledge. CPT knowledge is very much essential on the part of a teacher to be an effective teacher. Then second question arises, quality teacher. We want to be a quality teacher. Everywhere there is discussion on quality education, quality teaching, quality student, quality teacher, quality classroom. Everywhere there is a cry for quality education. What is quality? What is the meaning of quality? What is quality? Meaning of quality. How I can be, or how can I be a quality teacher? How can I ensure quality education in the school? Quality means customer satisfaction. Deming, the father of total quality management theory, defines quality as meeting, exceeding, and delighting customers' needs and expectations. That means instead of using customer, we can use stakeholders. So far as education is concerned, better word is stakeholders. We have to meet if customers or stakeholders' needs and expectations will be satisfied by our teaching, then we can ensure that we have quality. So far as customers or stakeholders are concerned, first stakeholder before a teacher is his or her students. Students' needs and expectations must be satisfied by our teaching. Students must be satisfied with the behavior of the teachers, with the activities going on in the school. Then parents must be satisfied
थोड़ा
with the teachers.
हिंदी में बोलिए सर, हिंदी का थोड़ा प्रयोग करिए सर. हिंदी का हिंदी का थोड़ा लैंग्वेज हिंदी बस.
Okay. Sometimes I will use Hindi. स्टूडेंट का एक्सपेक्टेशन, जो बच्चे का एक्सपेक्टेशन और जो इनका नीड, ये सेटिस्फाई होना चाहिए. हम बच्चे को सेटिस्फाई करना चाहिए, पेरेंट्स को सेटिस्फाई करना चाहिए, कम्युनिटी मेंबर्स ऑफ द कम्युनिटी को सेटिस्फाई होना चाहिए. हमारा बिहेवियर, हमारा व्यवहार, हमारा वे ऑफ टीचिंग से हम जब सेटिस्फाई कर सकते, देन हम क्लेम कर सकते जे हमारा क्वालिटी है. आई एम ए क्वालिटी टीचर. ठीक है. क्वालिटी मीन्स कस्टमर सेटिस्फेक्शन और सेटिस्फेक्शन ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स. हमारा बिहेवियर में स्टूडेंट सेटिस्फाई होना चाहिए. हमारा बिहेवियर में, हमारा टीचिंग में पेरेंट्स सेटिस्फाई होना चाहिए. हमारा कॉलीग्स, फ्रेंड्स विल बी सेटिस्फाइड. देन आई कैन से दैट हमारा पास क्वालिटी है, हम क्वालिटी टीचर है. आपका नॉलेज ज्यादा है, बट स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड what you are speaking, what you are discussing. जो आप डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं स्टूडेंट का क्लासरूम में, स्टूडेंट फेल टू अंडरस्टैंड. देन आप क्लेम नहीं कर सकते हैं आप क्वालिटी टीचर है. ये है हमारा टुडेस कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ क्वालिटी. क्वालिटी का संज्ञा है, क्वालिटी का अर्थ मीन्स कस्टमर सैटिस्फैक्शन. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर हियर. आप वहां है, ये प्रोग्राम में आए क्यों? कि नॉलेज आपका जा है, स्किल जो है, इनको रिफ्रेश करने के लिए आप जानते हैं नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 में एजुकेशन का 3 लक्ष्य दिया। पहला लक्ष्य डेवलपमेंट ऑफ स्टूडेंट का अंतर्निहित शक्ति जो है, बच्चे का अंतर्निहित शक्ति है जो इनका डेवलपमेंट करना चाहिए। बॉडी माइंड स्पिरिट जो अंतर्निहित इनका एबिलिटी है, इनको डेवलप करना चाहिए। पहला लक्ष्य है नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी का। सेकंड लक्ष्य है डेवलप करना चाहिए जस्ट एंड इक्विटेबल सोसाइटी। अच्छा सोसाइटी डेवलपमेंट करना चाहिए एजुकेशन का माध्यम से। दोनों लक्ष्य एजुकेशन का। थर्ड लक्ष्य, थर्ड गोल है डेवलपमेंट ऑफ वेलफेयर नेशन। अच्छा देश बनाना चाहिए एजुकेशन का माध्यम से। ये 3 लक्ष्य लेकर हमको बनाना चाहिए, रिफ्रेश करना चाहिए। ठीक है ना? और हमारा स्टूडेंट, हमारा टीचिंग लर्निंग हमको जो हम बोलते क्लासरूम में, वहां से ये सैटिस्फाई होना चाहिए। नाउ I will discuss on a multicultural classroom, a very difficult task on the part of Navodaya school teachers to face the students in the class. क्यों? कि ना ये जो सारे बच्चे एडमिशन लेते हैं, they are from different cultures, they are from different cultural backgrounds. So as you know, students are coming from hilly areas. There are some students who are from hilly areas, mountain areas. Some students are there from rural areas, urban areas. Some students are there from your desert areas, plain areas. You see, cultural diversity, geographical diversity is there. Again, there are some religion diversity so far as religion is concerned. Students belonging to Hinduism, Hindu students है, मुस्लिम स्टूडेंट, इस्लामिक स्टूडेंट्स, इनका जो धर्म है, ये फिर बुद्धिस्ट स्टूडेंट्स है, क्रिश्चियन स्टूडेंट्स है हमारा नवोदय विद्यालय में, सिख स्टूडेंट्स है, बुद्धिस्ट स्टूडेंट्स है, जैनिज्म, ये जो रिलीजियन में धर्म प्रभेद जो धर्म में हमारा इंडिया इज ए कंट्री विथ डाइवर्सिटी, ये सारे बच्चे हमारा क्लासरूम में है। धर्म इनका अलग अलग है, रिलीजन अलग अलग है। देन लैंग्वेज अलग लैंग्वेज है, डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज, हिंदी, तमिल, बंगाली, ओडिया, यू सी, तेलुगु, different language, students with different mother tongues, language background हमारा क्लासरूम में है, मल्टीकल्चरल क्लासरूम। दैट्स व्हाई आवर क्लासरूम इज ए मल्टीकल्चरल क्लासरूम। हिस्टोरिकल डाइवर्सिटी है, द्राविडियन है, आर्यन है, as you know, belong to Aryan group, Dravidian group, you see. We find students with a different historical background. And also we find students with economic diversity. Poor student, garib bache hai. Rich class people, rich class students bache hai. Middle class family ground का बचे है, economic, so far as economic diversity is there. गरीब बचे हैं, धनी बचे हैं, मिडिल क्लास सोशियो स्टेटस बचे हैं, ऐसे है। फिर हमारा कास्ट एंड ट्राइबल डाइवर्सिटी, कास्ट डाइवर्सिटी, शेड्यूल कास्ट स्टूडेंट से, शेड्यूल ट्राइब स्टूडेंट से, देन ओबीसी स्टूडेंट से है, यू सी, कास्ट डाइवर्सिटी है हमारा स्कूल में। We must understand not only this diversity, but also we find diversity in our cultural habits, in our cultural customs, traditions. हमारा tradition different है, food habits different है, food habits, you see. Food habits of South Indians is different from food habits of North Indian students. Food habits में different है. Then cultural festivals, customs, traditions, you see, diversity. Mainly, as we are serving in Navodaya Vidyalayas, we are in a multicultural classroom. We must understand the nature of the classroom first. Not only that, with abilities, so far as students are concerned, with abilities, we find diversity. There are 8 types of students with different abilities, mainly we find in the classroom. First.
One question, please, sir.
Yes.
सर
Yes.
जो ये डाइवर्सिटी जिसको लेकर के
Yes.
हमारे सिलेबस में रखा गया है,
हाँ जी।
जब हम क्लास में होते हैं सर, तो हम तो सीधा जो हमें सिलेबस दिया गया है, पाठ्यक्रम दिया गया है, वही सभी को वहां पर एक मतलब एक काम के लिए, एक उद्देश्य के लिए हम वहां पर क्लास में पढ़ाते हैं। जो ये अब हमारी डाइवर्सिटी जो हमारे करिकुलम या सिलेबस में रखा गया सीपीडीटी के द्वारा, इसका उस क्लास में हमारे लिए क्या यूज है सर? इससे मतलब हम इसको लेकर के इसको सतर्कता के साथ लें, या जो हमारा सिलेबस है हम उस पर फोकस करें सर?
First, before going to deal with a syllabus, deal with education in the classroom, first of all, we have to understand the nature of diversity in our classroom. First, we
वहां पर
understand.
हमारे लिए सभी हमारे लिए जो बच्चे जो हमारी क्लास में बैठे हुए हैं, हमारे लिए सिंपल वो एक विद्यार्थी है सर। हम उसे सिर्फ एक स्टूडेंट की नजर से देखते हैं, और हमारा जो सिलेबस है वो मेन है और हम उसको लेकर के चलते हैं। लेकिन ये जो डाइवर्सिटी हमें पढ़ाया जा रहा है,
that is why, yes, that is why the problem arises. Some are satisfied, some students are not satisfied with your classroom teaching. That is the problem.
यस, मतलब हमारा इसको पढ़ाने का टारगेट है कि 100% बच्चे सारे के सारे एक ही रेटिंग स्केल में सेटिस्फाइड होने चाहिए जब भी हम क्लास लें सर।
Equality. We have to provide experience based upon the principle of educational equality. Equality means what? Only one method, only one way of traffic. Teaching will go on in one way. There are multiple ways. Teaching must go with multiple techniques, multiple skills, multiple methods, multiple examples, so that all will be benefited out of your teaching. If you drive your car in only one directional, then there are some students.
सर once again सर प्लीज, डिस्कशन है उसको हेल्दी डिस्कशन। मतलब हमें क्लास पढ़ाते समय बच्चे की
20th century,
डाइवर्सिटी, हर बच्चे की डाइवर्सिटी को ध्यान में रखना है और हर एक को उसकी डाइवर्सिटी के हिसाब से पढ़ाना है सर। इसका मीन्स ये हुआ सर।
ये है फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, when you'll understand, when I will discuss in detail, just I am telling you the nature of the classroom, from which background students are coming, then I will
ओके सर, ओके सर,
progress.
ओके।
You will understand. You will not find any difficulties. You will gradually will understand. हमारा मोटो है, हमारा स्टूडेंट को फर्स्ट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड योर स्टूडेंट्स. You should come down as a teacher. So far as our psychology is concerned, it tells us that we must come down to the level of students. How can we come down to the level of students? Unless and until we know the level of students, nature of students, nature of the classroom, then how can we come down to the level of students? From psychological point of view, we know that teacher is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. That was the thought of yesterday. Teacher is storehouse of knowledge. Teacher is Brahma. Teacher is transmitter of knowledge. Vishnu and Maheshwar. And yesterday's 20th century classroom was based upon the principle that teacher knows everything, student knows nothing. But now, students are Brahma, students are Vishnu, and students are Maheshwar. Learning yesterday, definition of learning was acquisition of knowledge or information. Learning means acquisition of information and knowledge. Relatively change in behavior of the organism which occurs due to practice. By practice, by rote learning, we have to acquire. Rote learning was given more importance. Memorization was given more importance to acquire knowledge. And that was the definition of learning we have read. But now, what is learning? What is the definition of learning? Learning means construction of knowledge, creation of new knowledge, construction of knowledge. And teacher is, students knows everything. We must treat students that they know many things. Yes, I do admit that what you know, student may not be knowing. But it is a fact that what students know, you do not know, and we do not know. Who will teach to whom? Who will teach to whom? Whether teacher will teach to students or student will teach to teachers. It is a big question asked by Leo Tolstoy, Russian philosopher. Leo Tolstoy. Who will teach to whom? The background of asking this question is that Leo Tolstoy had visited one school and he invited all teachers and students and told and gave a topic for writing essay by both teachers and students. Please listen to me. And after 1 hour, he collected the answer script of both teachers and students and evaluated the answer script of both teachers and students. To his surprise, he found that there are many students who wrote better than their teacher on that particular topic. Then he has asked one question, a big question. Who will teach to whom? Whether teacher will teach to students or student will teach to teachers. Now you try to understand. And accordingly, we have to change our attitude to deal with students in multicultural classroom. So far as the abilities are concerned, there are 8 types of students having different abilities. First one is students who are mathematically very strong, but so far as musical ability is concerned, they lack. Mathematically, they are strong. There are some students in science subjects, they are very strong. Third category, verbal and linguistic ability. There are some students who are very good debater. Their verbal ability is very strong. They are very good. Their writing skill is very nice, excellent. Writing skill. Debater, they can write very good poem. They can write very good essay. They can write short story. You see, there are many students who are strong in verbal and in linguistic abilities. And there are many students who are strong in musical abilities. Singing, dancing, you see. There are many students who are strong in musical abilities. Dance, so far as musical abilities are concerned. Another category of students who are very strong in graphical abilities, drawing, painting, you see, many students are there. Previously, whose mathematical ability was very strong, they are considered intelligent students. But now, bodily and kinetic, they are strong in bodily and kinetic. Sportsman, very good sportsman. Runner, jumper, cricketer. You see, Virat Kohli must say, strong in bodily and kinetic activities or abilities. Sportsman, strong. Many students are there. And there are many students who are strong in interpersonal skills, leadership qualities, interpersonal skills, sociable, helping nature. They help their friends at their need. Very much sociable, leadership quality, come forward to organize a very good program easily, sports program, dance program. They have got a leadership quality strong. And last category, eighth category students, that is intrapersonal, philosophical. Thinkers. They spend time in thinking. Philosophical minded students are there. That's why, so far as the abilities are concerned, previously in 20th century, we are giving trace on science and mathematics or language, but we are not giving trace on physical activities, or we are not respecting students who are strong with physical abilities, who are strong in musical abilities. We are not giving trace. Whose leadership quality was very strong, we are not giving trace. Only our teaching was meant how to secure very good marks in mathematics, how to secure very good marks in science. We are ignoring all other students in the classroom. That is the defect. That is why multicultural classroom. Students with different cultures, different abilities. Not only abilities, we also find students with different disabilities. So far as disabilities is concerned, as you know, some have lost their physical limbs. Physically handicapped students are there, disabled students. Some have lost their sense organs like vision, visual impaired students are there, or we say blind students. Some have lost their hearing power. Hearing impaired students or deaf and dumb students are there. And some have lost their memory, intellectual capacities, we may say slow learners and learning disabilities. Remember, there is difference between learning disabilities and slow learners. There is a difference. On the basis of IQ, as you know, on the basis of IQ, slow learners are determined, whose IQ or intelligence quotient is between 70 to 90. They are called slow learners. As their intellectual abilities are below average, their achievements are also below average. That's why they are called slow learners. Another category of students whose achievement is below average, but their IQ is above average. Excellent IQ, 120, 110 IQ, but their achievement is below average. They are called learning disabled students. So far as visually impaired students are there are different types of visually impaired students. Broadly we say totally blind students, and whose visual acuity is above 20 by 70 or 70 by 200 in Snell's chart. They are called visually impaired, total blind, and again they are partially sighted students. Visual students are of different types. We say partially sighted students. They have some low visions, and sometimes students are also categorized as adventitious, hearing impaired, visually impaired, or blind. Means they have acquired blindness after birth, and some students are there who have acquired their blindness at the time of birth, and others are after birth. That's why they can be categorized likewise. Similarly, visually impaired students, hearing impaired students can be categorized into different types. Mainly we say deaf and dumb students who cannot speak or who cannot listen to, totally deaf and dumb students, and whose hearing threshold level is above 90 decibel. They are called totally hearing impaired students. And other categories whose hearing threshold level falls between 70 to 90, they are called severe category, severely hearing impaired students, then moderately hearing impaired students, then mild hearing impaired students. Anyway, there are different types of hearing impaired students, and some are called prelingually deaf students, some are called postlingually deaf students. Prelingually deaf students, before onset of language, the students who have lost their hearing capacity, they are called prelingually deaf. And after acquiring language, those who have lost their hearing capacity, they are called postlingually deaf. We must understand different types of hearing impaired students. So far as learning disabled students are concerned, there are also different types of learning disabled students. Dyscalculia. In calculation, they face problem. They commit mistake in calculation activities. Dyscalculia. Dysgraphia, some while painting, drawing, they commit mistakes. Dyslexia, reading, Aphasia, mathematical, you see, different types of in mathematics, mathematical calculations, mathematical abilities, they face problems. In spelling some words or writing some words, reading, writing, they face problems, learning disabled students. That's why they secure less mark in examination. And with this, not only this, also there are students whose parental support is also different. Style of life is something different. Attitude is different. Interest is different. Values are different. You see, multicultural classroom, we find this type of students. That's why we face challenges to deal with those students in the classroom. But as you know, education, the motto of education is preparation of students for future life. Education is for preparation of life. Life is prepared. जीवन शैली को तैयार करना चाहिए किसके लिए? भविष्य के लिए। भविष्य सोसाइटी में कैसे हम हमारा रोल प्ले करेंगे, इसलिए हम एजुकेशन लेते हैं। इसीलिए बोलते हैं एजुकेशन इज नॉट ओनली फॉर लाइफ इटसेल्फ, इट इज प्रिपरेशन ऑफ लाइफ। लाइफ को तैयार करना एजुकेशन एक माध्यम है भविष्य के लिए। हमारा सोसाइटी है मल्टीकल्चरल सोसाइटी। हमारा भारत का सोसाइटी, भारत है मल्टीकल्चरल नेशन और कंट्री। कैसे मल्टीकल्चरल देश में हमको तैयार करना चाहिए एडजस्ट करने के लिए विथ अदर पीपल। ये हमारा एजुकेशन का एक मोटो है, लक्ष्य है। कैसे हमको anyway, suppose you see you are from a cultural background, but you are serving in other cultural background or other culture. In Navodaya Vidyalaya, your language is something, mother tongue is something different from the mother tongue of the students where you are serving. कैसे एडजस्ट करना चाहिए हमको, ये सिचुएशन कैसे डील करना चाहिए, यही है हमारा लक्ष्य है, तैयार करना स्टूडेंट को भविष्य के लिए एजुकेशन का माध्यम से। ये हमारा एक लक्ष्य है एजुकेशन का। दैट्स व्हाई हमारा स्टूडेंट को नॉलेज, नॉट ओनली नॉलेज बट आल्सो वी हैव टू डेवलप स्किल, वी हैव टू डेवलप एटीट्यूड। as I have already told, our attitude was previously our attitude was very rigid. We are with a very rigid attitude. I know everything. Students know nothing. That was my attitude. I am a Brahma. I am a master. Students are servant. That was our attitude. But we have to change our attitude. Attitude को change करना चाहिए। हमारा ज्ञान को, नॉलेज को चेंज करना चाहिए, परिवर्तन करना चाहिए। हमारा वैल्यू को परिवर्तन करना चाहिए, हमारा स्किल को परिवर्तन करना चाहिए। ऐसे करेंगे हमारा स्किल को, एटीट्यूड को, ज्ञान को, जे हम जो सोसाइटी, दूसरा सोसाइटी, ये जो डाइवर्सिटी इंडिया का जो प्लेस में हमको अपॉइंटमेंट करना चाहिए, अपॉइंटमेंट होंगे, हम इसको अच्छा तरह का डील कर सकते हैं। कैसे डील करेंगे, अच्छा तरह का डील करना से हम चाहिए। हमारा स्टूडेंट, ये भी हमारा स्टूडेंट को ऐसे भी प्रस्तुत होना चाहिए। Then what are the problems due to multicultural classroom? What type of problems we are facing? And what problems you are facing. First problem, most important problem, as you know, that is the problem with relating to communication problem. Student जिसका लैंग्वेज अब बोले हमको सर इंग्लिश में थोड़ा सा यूज करो, हिंदी थोड़ा सा यूज करो, ये जो कम्युनिकेशन प्रॉब्लम। अब भी जब हम आप कोई बंगाली नवोदय विद्यालय में आपका अपॉइंटमेंट हुआ, स्टूडेंट बोलेंगे जी सर थोड़ा सा बंगाली यूज करना चाहिए, हिंदी मत बोलो। ये जो कम्युनिकेशन प्रॉब्लम मल्टीकल्चरल क्लास, जस्ट you told me to use Hindi. How to communicate? So, as a teacher, you must know to communicate yourself with different ways. Not only using Hindi, not only using English. Communication, verbal communication, different communication. There are different ways of communication. Remember, as a teacher, we must know different ways of communication. First one is verbal communication. Again, verbal communication can be through regional language, can be through modern Indian, different modern Indian language, Hindi, English, mother tongue, regional language. We must be thorough with different communication skills, so far as verbal communication skill is concerned. कैसे हिंदी में हम कम्युनिकेशन करेंगे, कैसे स्टूडेंट का मदर टंग में कैसे कम्युनिकेशन करें, इंग्लिश में कैसे कम्युनिकेशन करें. So multi language, a teacher should be thorough to communicate by using different verbal skills. Second one is non-verbal way of communication. Non-verbal way of communication can be graphical way, can be body language, gesture, posture, communication. Gesture, by using gesture, by using posture, by smiling, you see, non-verbal communication. Graphic, teaching aids, graphs, non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication can be also activities. Learning by doing, by performing certain activities, you see, perform certain activities. Only if you give trace on verbal communication, one-way direction, one-way traffic, one-way traffic, other student will not be benefited out of your verbal communication if you use only Hindi or only English. All students cannot be satisfied with your teaching. They cannot understand because they fail to understand your communication skill, language that you are using. Hearing impaired students, again, that they cannot listen to you. Hearing impaired students, non-verbal communication is required. Sign language is required. Lip reading is required. Sign language, lip reading, gesture, posture, activities, performing some activities. They can understand what you are going to communicate. And our motto is, we face this problem in multicultural classroom. Our motto is successful communication of knowledge to the students. How successfully we can communicate ourselves or the content knowledge, or subject knowledge before the student successfully. That's why multiple communication skills as a teacher we must use. That's why we can solve this problem, communication problem in the multicultural classroom. Second problem is adjustment problem. Students face adjustment problem in multicultural classroom. Muslim students, suppose Muslim students are studying, some of the students are belong to Muslim community. They face adjustment problem with Hindu students. Christian students face adjustment problem with Muslim students. Sikh students face adjustment problem with, because ours is a multicultural classroom of our religious students from religious diversity are studying in our Navodaya Vidyalaya. They face adjustment problems. Very, very difficult problem. Dravidian students, I am not speaking Dravidian, let us say South Indian students are studying, are admitted in Hindi belt Navodaya schools. Their food habit is something different. Hindi students are studying in South Indian Navodaya Vidyalayas. Their food habit is something different. Living style is something different. They face adjustment problem. Rural students face adjustment problem with urban students. Scheduled caste, scheduled tribe students face adjustment problem with the general caste students. You see, in multicultural classroom, this problem takes place. And if we cannot solve this problem as teacher, it will affect their achievement, their academic progress, definitely. Adjustment problem. We must understand. Acquisition of information is not important. Completion of course is not important. Construction of knowledge is very important. How student will construct knowledge. How a student, suppose you are teaching language subject. You are a language teacher. You are teaching language. If our student cannot write a small poem, if our student cannot write a small story, then what is necessity of explaining the poem written by Wordsworth, Keats? But our students fail to write a simple poem. We are thorough in teaching poetry or poems, thorough in teaching Hindi poems, thorough in teaching Odia mother tongue poems or Odia poems, English poems. But our student, at last, after teaching, if our student fail to write a poem, then how can I claim that I am a successful teacher? I must ensure that knowledge is not for acquisition. Knowledge is to be constructed. New ideas must be constructed by, new poems should be constructed by the students. And teacher, language teacher must ensure that their students are able to write very good poems on their own, very good stories on their own. Then you can claim that you are a successful teacher nowadays. 21st century demands learning means construction of knowledge, remember, not acquisition of knowledge. Creation of new knowledge. Creation of new poem, short story. Creation of new formulae in mathematics. Science, something new principle students should discover, create. Then only we can say that, then only we can ensure that we have got quality. I am a quality teacher. में है क्वालिटी टीचर, कैसे आपको क्लेम करेंगे? जब आपका स्टूडेंट लैंग्वेज टीचर, जब आपका स्टूडेंट एक शॉर्ट स्टोरी नहीं लिख पाया, एक पोएम, सिंपल छोटा पोएम नहीं लिख सकते, कैसे आप को क्लेम करेंगे जो हम टैलेंटेड टीचर मैथमेटिक्स और लिटरेचर में टैलेंटेड टीचर है? कैसे क्लेम करेंगे आप? You have to give guarantee. You should give guarantee to the students that आपका स्टूडेंट अच्छा पोएम लिख सकते, लिखेंगे, नहीं लिख सकते लिखेंगे, अच्छा स्टोरी लिखेंगे. Completion of a course, securing very good marks, acquisition of knowledge is meaningless nowadays. What you know is not more important. What you can do with what you know is more important nowadays. आप क्या जानते, इनका कोई मतलब नहीं है. क्या जानते आप बहुत ज्ञान है आपका पास, but today we want what you can do with what you know. कैसे इसको आप, कैसे इनको ये जो नॉलेज को कैसे अप्लाई करेंगे डे टू डे लाइफ में, आपको मालूम होना चाहिए, स्टूडेंट को मालूम होना चाहिए. कैसे हम ये ज्ञान को अप्लाई करेंगे हमारा सोसाइटी में. व्हाट यू नो इज नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट. आप क्या जानते हैं इनका मतलब क्या, मतलब नहीं है. व्हाट यू कैन डू विथ व्हाट यू नो, क्या कर सकते हैं जो ज्ञान है इनको अप्लाई कर, क्या कर सकते, क्या करेंगे, क्या कर सकते, इनको मालूम होना चाहिए. आज का ये जो 21st सेंचुरी का यही है मतलब. इसलिए जो है, जो एडजस्टमेंट प्रॉब्लम को कैसे डील करना चाहिए, आपको कैसे होना चाहिए, आपको एडजस्टमेंट, स्टूडेंट को एडजस्टमेंट प्रॉब्लम कैसे रिमूव करना चाहिए. एक फिर और इशू है बिल्डिंग ट्रस्ट. हाउ स्टूडेंट फेल टू बिल्ड ट्रस्ट, विश्वास. स्टूडेंट कैसे टीचर को विश्वास करेंगे और इनका फ्रेंड को विश्वास करेंगे. मल्टीकल्चरल क्लासरूम, रूरल स्टूडेंट्स, स्कूल का स्टूडेंट्स कैसे आपको विश्वास करेंगे, बिकॉज यू आर फ्रॉम डिफरेंट कास्ट, हायर क्लास. ये शेड्यूल कास्ट, कैसे आपको ये विश्वास करेंगे? आप शेड्यूल कास्ट नहीं है, ये शेड्यूल कास्ट स्टूडेंट है. शेड्यूल ट्राइब स्टूडेंट से कैसे आपको विश्वास करेंगे, ट्रस्ट करेंगे? जनरल स्टूडेंट कैसे आपको ट्रस्ट करेंगे? रिच स्टूडेंट्स कैसे आपको ट्रस्ट करेंगे? रूरल एरिया स्टूडेंट्स कैसे आपको ट्रस्ट करेंगे? यही है मतलब. कैसे ट्रस्ट करेंगे, ये है प्रॉब्लम मल्टीकल्चरल क्लासरूम में. कैसे आपको ट्रस्ट करना चाहिए, करेंगे. सो treat everybody equally, be student friendly, and treat every student as an end, not as a means. इनको सर्वेंट, सारे बच्चे को, सारे स्टूडेंट को आप मास्टर लाइक देखना चाहिए. ये सारे है मास्टर, सारे है एंड, सारे है मास्टर है. ये सर्वेंट नहीं है, ये मीन्स नहीं है. इनको अपना काम में, अपना इंटरेस्ट के लिए इनको अपना काम में नहीं लगाना चाहिए. Don't use students as a means. Use students, treat students as an end. सभी को मास्टर, सभी को रेस्पेक्ट देना चाहिए सब स्टूडेंट को. They are Brahma. Students are Brahma. Students are Vishnu. Students are Maheshwar. And be friendly with students. And informal interaction is very essential to deal with this problem. Informal interaction. Outside the classroom, you have to interact. इनको पूछना चाहिए, स्टूडेंट बच्चों का साथ मिलना चाहिए, अच्छा व्यवहार करना चाहिए, अच्छा तरीका व्यवहार करना चाहिए बच्चे को. After classroom, student coming on the road, अरे कहाँ गए थे आप, क्यों गए थे, प्लीजिंग वॉइस में पूछना चाहिए. इंटरेक्शन, इनफॉर्मल इंटरेक्शन लाइक फ्रेंड, डील विथ स्टूडेंट. बट sometimes we don't interact with the students. We feel ourselves as great. But remember, teacher is a friend, philosopher, and guide. Teacher is a friend. So you have to interact with him. बच्चे का साथ मिलना चाहिए, इंटरेक्ट करना चाहिए, इनफॉर्मली फ्रेंड जैसे इंटरेक्ट करते आप इंटरेक्ट करना चाहिए, स्टूडेंट फ्रेंडली. So they can build trust on you. Trust, very important. And your management style का concept trust होना चाहिए. You have to trust your students and your student must trust on you. आपका स्टूडेंट को विश्वास करना चाहिए, आपका स्टूडेंट को भी आपको विश्वास करना चाहिए. ट्रस्ट. ये जो प्रॉब्लम, ये जो बिल्डिंग ट्रस्ट प्रॉब्लम को कैसे खत्म करना चाहिए स्कूल में, आपको ध्यान देना चाहिए. Then you can be a successful teacher. You can claim that you have got quality. Then next one is, next problem, very dangerous problem in multicultural classroom takes place. That is grouping of students on the basis of diversity. Rural students, they will form one group. Scheduled caste students, because we know birds of the same feather flock together. Muslim students, they will form group. Hindu students, they will form group. Christian students, they will form group. Scheduled caste students will form group, multicultural classroom. And not only that they will do, not forming of classroom group is not important, but fighting between groups takes place. Fightings, complaint, fightings, all those things. Resistance from groups. It threats. It is very dangerous, which threats the positive atmosphere of the school. ये कैसे डील करना चाहिए ये जो ग्रुप को, how to break down those type of groups which is based upon diversity cultures. Cultural group को कैसे डील करना चाहिए, ये very challenging on your part to know. Then exposed to a new culture. Exposed to a new culture. My culture is different. Whenever I take admission in a school situated in a different cultural area, then students face problem to adjust with that different cultural, because culture, as you know, culture means beliefs, traditions, values, language, food habit, clothing, different style, different way of life. See how to deal whenever they come into contact with the other culture. But remember, multicultural classroom is a boon, has its advantages. These are challenges posed by the students in the multicultural classroom. These are the challenges of multicultural classroom. But it has its advantages also. First advantage is it stimulates growth and competition. Students, it is helpful to develop competitive spirit on the part of the students, multicultural classroom. Then second one is, it is better for developing relationship, social relations. Because when students of different cultures join together, come into contact with each other, they develop a relationship. And how to develop relationship, it is helpful. Relationship means Hindu students will keep relationship with the Muslim students will keep relationship with the Christian students, then urban students, rural students. Relationship, it helps for developing a relationship, and it is also helpful for taking collective decisions. How to take decision collectively, students with the different backgrounds. Suppose what should be the what type of food should be preparing a food menu in the hostel. Students of different cultures sit together. They can take decision at which day biryani will be prepared, at which day idli will be prepared for breakfast, sabji, which type of sabji will be prepared. Then collective decision they can take. It is helpful for taking collective decision in multicultural classroom, and it helps students in their future life to take decision jointly and collaboratively. Decision making is very important skill nowadays. How to take decision, very important skill. So far as the national policy on national education policy 2020 are concerned, objective of only one word is given, repeatedly written for 17 times, that is development of critical thinking. Previously, development of knowledge, development of understanding, development of application ability, development of skill were given trace in previous education policies. How to develop knowledge, how to develop understanding, application ability, skill, these were given importance. But National Education Policy 2020 has given trace for the development of critical thinking. What does it mean? How to develop critical thinking? What does it mean? What do you mean by critical thinking? Critical thinking means development of application ability. As I have already told you, what you know is not more important. What you can do with what you know is more important. आपका application, बच्चे का application ability को develop करना चाहिए. बच्चा का application ability को कैसे develop करे? हमारा पास बहुत knowledge है, ज्ञान बहुत है, हमारा understanding level very ज्यादा है, अच्छा है हमारा. स्टूडेंट का अंडरस्टैंडिंग लेवल, हमारा अंडरस्टैंडिंग लेवल बहुत अच्छा है, हमारा नॉलेज भी बहुत अच्छा है, बट हमारा एप्लीकेशन एबिलिटी अच्छा नहीं है। क्योंकि क्योंकि हम छोटा सोशल डे टू डे प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व नहीं कर सकते, मैथमेटिकल प्रॉब्लम को डे टू डे, सोसाइटी का डे टू डे सिंपल प्रॉब्लम को हम सॉल्व नहीं कर सकते। ओके ओके ओके, कैसे एक एग्जांपल देना चाहिए था। ये तो क्लासरूम नहीं है, ये तो ऑनलाइन क्लासरूम है, ये तो ब्लैक बोर्ड वाला चेहरा चाहिए था। एनीवे, if you want then I can give one mathematical problem. Okay, I am giving that mathematical problem. Please listen to me and solve this simple mathematical problem. In 1980, the year is 1980, I was doing PhD in NCRT, Delhi. ये टाइम में 20 पैसा चला, 20 पैसा मिला था, 25 पैसा, 50 पैसा, 10 पैसा, 5 पैसा, 3 पैसा, 2 पैसा, 1 पैसा था हमारा टाइम में। ये 1980 का बात हम कर रहे हैं। ये टाइम में 1 पैसा था, 2 पैसा था, 3 पैसा था, 5 पैसा था, 10 पैसा था, 20 पैसा था, 25 पैसा था, 50 पैसा था। ये टाइम हम एक चॉकलेट खरीद किया दुकान से, चॉकलेट का दाम था 10 पैसा। ये मैथमेटिक्स, प्लीज लिसन टू दिस मैथमेटिक्स एंड सॉल्व दिस। ये 10 पैसा में हम जब 50 पैसा दिया दुकान को, दुकानदार को दिया 50 पैसा, ये बोला जे, दुकानदार बोला जे हमारा पास आपको 40 पैसा वापस करने के लिए हमारे पास पैसा नहीं है। 50 पैसा हम दिया, चॉकलेट का दाम 10 पैसा था। ये बोला जाए हमारा पास 40 पैसा नहीं है। मैं बोला क्या करेंगे? ये बोला आपका पास 1 रुपया है, 1 रुपया है। मैं बोला जो है 1 रुपया, नहीं दे दो 1 रुपया। मैं इनको 1 रुपया दे दिया। ये मुझे, ये दुकान वाला मुझको 90 पैसा वापस कर दिया। मेरा सवाल यह है, इनका पास ये 50 पैसा जो हम दिया, ये 40 पैसा हमको वापस नहीं दे पाया, मगर हम जब 1 रुपया दिया, ये मुझको 90 पैसा वापस दिया। ये 90 पैसा कैसे दिया? कौन से पैसा मिलाकर मुझको 90 पैसा दिया? ये मैथमेटिक्स का कोई आंसर दे सकते? ये मैथमेटिक्स का प्लीज थिंक, कैन यू गिव आंसर? कोई आंसर दे सकते? कैन यू? जो 90 पैसा वापस किया मुझको, 10 पैसा चॉकलेट का दाम रखकर, कैसे कैसे पैसा मुझको वापस दिया 90 पैसा? बोलिए कोई। Mathematics, we are unable to solve this problem. We know many mathematical formulas, but we are great mathematics teacher. We claim that I am a great mathematics teacher, but are unable to solve this problem. Apply our knowledge to solve this problem. ये छोटा प्रॉब्लम, मैथमेटिकल प्रॉब्लम को हम सॉल्व कर नहीं सकते, क्योंकि हमारा एप्लीकेशन एबिलिटी हमारा पास कम है। तो क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग में जो बोला, अंडर क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग कम्स एप्लीकेशन एबिलिटी, अंडर क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग कम्स डिसीजन मेकिंग एबिलिटी, अंडर क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग कम्स प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एबिलिटी, इवैल्यूएशन एबिलिटी, डेवलपमेंट ऑफ डाइवर्जेंट क्रिएटिविटी एबिलिटी, क्रिएटिव एबिलिटी अंडर क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, एनालिसिस एबिलिटी, सिंथेसिस एबिलिटी। ये जो एबिलिटी है, इंपॉर्टेंट एबिलिटी है decision making ability. So multicultural classroom is helpful for developing decision making ability. It has its डिसीजन मेकिंग एबिलिटी के लिए मल्टीकल्चरल क्लासरूम बहुत अच्छा है. Then creation of new ideas in brainstorming session. Multicultural classroom is helpful for developing multiple new ideas. Creation of multiple new ideas. Very, very good. Students, if you ask question, students with different backgrounds can give answer according to their cultural practices, according to their lifestyles. So multiple new ideas you can generate out of multicultural classroom. Then very important thing is previously we are giving stress on teacher guided learning. Previously we are giving stress on teacher guided learning. Every learning was guided by teacher. Then child-centered education, self-learning, child-centric education was given importance. Self-learning was given importance. Now we are giving stress on cooperative learning, collaborative learning. Learning is at present cooperative in nature. And motto is, if you want to fly, let us fly together. हम जब उड़ना चाहेंगे तो सारे उड़ना चाहिए. If we want to float, भासना चाहिए तो नदी में भासना चाहिए तो सारे हम भासना चाहिए. हम जो डूबना चाहिए तो सारे डूबना चाहिए. If we want to fly, let us fly together. If we fall, let us fall together. If we want to float or swim, let us swim together. If you want to sing, डूबना चाहिए तो सारे डूबना है. डूबेंगे. ये है motto. A cooperative learning is given more important. So students in multicultural classroom, students with a different cultural background, if they work together in a group in the classroom, in cooperative learning situation, the creation of multiple answers to a particular question. हमको 20th सेंचुरी में हमको बोला था एक क्वेश्चन का जो ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन, एक क्वेश्चन का एक आंसर है. ये हमको टीचर सिखा था. भारत को कब स्वाधीनता मिला? क्या आंसर है? When did India get freedom? 1947. India got freedom in 1947. हम जब 1947 नहीं लिखेंगे तो हमको 0 मार्क देते, टीचर हमको दे देते. जब हम 1947 आंसर देते, ये हमको 1 मार्क मिलते. यही था. कोई स्टूडेंट जब बोलेंगे जे पाकिस्तान का स्वाधीनता का, जब पाकिस्तान स्वाधीनता का एक दिन बाद भारत को स्वाधीनता मिला, ये क्या गलत आंसर है? बोलिए. पाकिस्तान का एक दिन का बाद भारत को स्वाधीनता मिला, ये तो सही आंसर है. ये 2 नंबर मिलना चाहिए. क्योंकि ना ये बचे पाकिस्तान कब स्वाधीन, पाकिस्तान को कब स्वाधीनता मिला मालूम है, भारत को कब स्वाधीनता मिला मालूम है। इनको 2 नंबर मिलना चाहिए था, बट हमारा टीचर, हमको जो टीचर मार्क देते, ये इनको 0 मार्क दे दिया। ये क्या गलत किया? देखिए 2 + 2 क्या है? 2 + 2, 2 + 2 क्या है? 4. Multiply 100 and thousands answer. It can be 3 + 1. It can be 5 - 1. Multiple answers are there. But हमारा माइंड को, हमारा टीचर क्या किया? एक क्वेश्चन का एक आंसर, डबल आंसर नहीं है, ट्रिपल आंसर नहीं है, मल्टीपल आंसर हमारा लक्ष्य है। कैसे मल्टीपल आंसर हम जनरेट कर सकते हैं, ये आइडिया को लेकर एक कविता लिखो। स्टूडेंट जब कविता लिखेंगे कोऑपरेटिव वे, कोऑपरेटिव लर्निंग वे, ब्यूटीफुल poem they can write, beautiful story, because they discuss with themselves and write beautiful poems. Cooperative learning situation. So cooperative learning situation or multicultural classroom, it is only possible in multicultural classroom, and in multicultural classroom multiple answer can be generated, multiple knowledge can be generated. That is the present scenario all over the world. Give trace on cooperative learning and construct multiple knowledge, multiple ideas, multiple principles, multiple answers. Question has different answers. Stanza can be interpreted in different ways. Mathematics, problems in mathematics can be solved in different ways. There are different ways. एक क्वेश्चन का एक आंसर नहीं है। ये जमाने में, आज का युग में, आज का युग में एक क्वेश्चन का एक आंसर नहीं है, बहुत आंसर है, मल्टीपल आंसर है। So in multicultural classroom, we can trace on cooperative learning situation for the generation, for the creation of new ideas, new knowledge. So it has its advantages, and it reduces prejudice. It reduces prejudice on the part of the students. When student with a particular cultural background mix with the students of other cultural background, then their rigid mind, prejudice attitude can be broken down, can be refined. So it reduces that prejudice, multicultural classroom. And very important thing is cultural diffusion takes place in multicultural classrooms. Cultural diffusion. What is cultural diffusion? When students with different cultural background join together, then they come across different cultures and learn some good habits of other cultures and practice it. For example, I may say food habits of culture, other cultures. They can learn how to prepare biryani. Biryani is not our cultural food habit. Biryani is the cultural food habit of Muslim students. Then how to prepare a biryani, they can learn. Something new, good things they learn from other students, their lifestyles, their cultural habits, their traditions, their cultures, their language, their food habits, their beliefs, their values. Cultural diffusion takes place. And students of different cultures are benefited out of the culture of other groups. That's why it is very good for developing, refining cultural, breaking down the cultural prejudice and developing cultural diffusion. That is very important. Now, as a teacher, what is your role? What is your role to deal with the students in a multicultural classroom? Many things I have already discussed with you. Then some important things I would like to discuss with you. First one is special attention during entry year. At the beginning stage, at the entry stage of the students, as a teacher, you have to give special attention to the students. That is very important, because the beginning stage is very crucial stage on the part of the students. How to accept, how to build trust, how to keep a relationship with them, how to behave friendly, how to know them personally. That is very important, beginning stage. So you should be cautious as a teacher to give special attention to the students during entry year. And second one is know your student individually. Know your student individually means it does not mean know their name or know their father's name. You have to know students individually means know the family background of the students, know their culture, their cultural practices, their demography, I mean geographical locations, their family background, profession of their parents, profession of their fathers, mothers, their lifestyle, family background, their hobbies, interest. Know your student individually, not by their name or not by their roll number or not by their father only. Deeply you have to know your students. Professor of their parents, locality, then their interest, habits, hobbies, you have to know students individually. Their talents, their hobbies, their interest, everything. Their food habits, their likingness as a teacher, their problems. You have to know your student individually. Then next one is respect. As a teacher, you have to respect each other's culture. Very important, very important. Love the culture of other students. Respect the culture of other students. Respect the culture of students. Love the culture of love to the culture of other students. Very important as a teacher. And all culture or students' culture should be respected. Some teachers are there. In their way of life, they hate other cultures. They think that my own culture is greater, better than other culture. That's why they develop hatredness towards other cultures. No, it will create problem. That's why as a teacher, you must respect other cultures, highness of other cultures, always. And be sensitive to variety cultures. Give example while teaching. You can give example of other cultures, different cultures. That's why be sensitive to varied cultures. And foster, very important is foster cultural awareness programs through curricular activities, co-curricular activities, particularly co-curricular activities, you can organize different cultural festivals. You are as a teacher, you are organizing in your school different cultural programs. But in that cultural programs, the culture of different students, different cultures of students, or students' culture, or culture of students should be given its due weightage in cultural programs. For example, dance program, dance competition you are organizing in your school. Different dance, students from different cultures have their own dance, folk dance. You can organize dance program with different folk dance, that is Bharatanatyam, Odissi dance, Bihu, Punjabi Bihu dance. So different dance programs. Song competition, from their song, different cultural songs, student can participate. I mean, the program should be so chopped out that all students with different cultural background can get opportunity to participate actively in those programs. That is very important. And awareness programs, you have to organize different cultural awareness programs. And festivals, maybe in a hostel, or festivals you are organizing in a hostel, may it be Diwali, may it be New Year's Day, or Xmas programs, Christian programs, Punjabi programs, Punjabi festivals, organize different cultural programs in the hostels. Food habits, different food habits. Your hostel, different food habits means you have to prepare menu, take into consideration some of the food habits of students studying in your school, different food habits, and they have their food habits in your in the menu of the hostel. That's why cultural, food habits of other cultures should be given due respect. Accordingly, you have to organize different. You have to give opportunity to different cultures while organizing cultural festival in your schools or in your hostels. That's why a student will be benefited out of it, and there will be cultural diffusion take place. Student will learn about the dance activities of other cultures and compare which activities are better, which activities has its plus points. Every culture has its plus points, good aspect. And what are those good aspects? Similarly, competition of preparing foods, you can organize. Students with different cultural background can prepare their own cultural foods. You can organize this type of activities. You can organize to deal with students coming from different cultural backgrounds as a teacher, so that you can solve many problems, many difficulties which occur in the multicultural classrooms. Then next one is collaborative and cooperative learning program. Collaborative learning programs, as I have already discussed with you, today we give trace on all over the globe. Collaborative or cooperative learning is given more importance than teacher-guided learning or self-learning. That's why you have to group the students. You have to divide the students into small groups, small heterogeneous groups, not homogeneous groups. Heterogeneous groups means students from different backgrounds, 5 to 6 students will form a group with different cultural backgrounds, and you can give tasks to each groups to be solved, and after solving tasks by the students through group discussion, they can present their interpretations, their solutions before all. Then debate, discussion, wrestling with the ideas, fighting with the ideas will take place. Then some new thing will emerge. And your role as a teacher is a facilitator. You have to facilitate. But at present, we are playing the role of heroes in the classroom. Let students play the role of heroes. But as a teacher, we are playing the role of Brahma, Vishnu, hero in the classroom. Students are just treated as passive listeners. No. Our attitude, as I have already told you, we have to change our attitude. Let student play the role of hero on the stage of education in the classroom. But now we are playing the role of hero. No. Let students play the role of hero, and we should play as teacher the role of a facilitator, role of a mediator, and our role is behind the scene, prompter. We should play the role of a prompter. Our role is behind the scene. Students are real heroes and heroines in the classroom. They should play the active role. We should play the role of a facilitator. We have to provide opportunities, create opportunities, facilitate learning. Prompter, we should play the role of a prompter, and our role should be behind the scene. Then only creation of knowledge can take place, new knowledge can take place, construction of knowledge can take place, and all students will be satisfied with our activities, with our teaching, with our role. Then we can claim ourselves that we are successful teachers. The next one is use of experiential and multi-level learning, experiential learning. In the beginning stage, someone asked me, citing the text, where is text? Text, textual knowledge. Textual knowledge, where is knowledge? Nowadays, knowledge does not there in the text. Knowledge is in the context, contextual knowledge. Remember, where is knowledge? Where is knowledge? Knowledge is in the context. Where is knowledge? Knowledge is not in the textbook. It is everywhere in the environment. Where is botany? Where is mensuration? Mensuration is there in the playground. Measure the length of the playground, breadth of the playground. By giving one or two mathematical problems given in the textbook, you are doing our task. We are completing our task. Have you ever measured the length of the classroom? Have you ever measured the length of the playground, breadth of the playground while teaching mensuration to the students? Perhaps not. Perhaps not. Textual knowledge should be replaced by contextual knowledge. Remember, students' experience of the students belong to different cultural background should be the base of the teaching. Base of the teaching. We are teaching social science teachers are teaching transportation system to the students in the classroom. How goods are transported from one to another place by railways, by ship, by truck, tractor, airways, roadways, seaways. We are discussing what is there in the textbook. Have you ever asked question to a student belonging to desert area how goods are transported in your area? In desert area, in your area, mountain area, how goods are transported? Students belong to mountain area, hilly area. Have you ever asked students that how goods are transported from one place to another place in your area? Have you asked question to the students belong to sea area, how goods are transported from one place to another place in sea area or river area, plain place, in jungle area? Have you ever asked? Perhaps not. That is why there is defect takes place, or that is problem takes place on the part of the students to understand your teaching. Experience of the students, their cultural experience should be taken into account. Their experience should be taken into account, and their students' experience should act as the base upon which the pyramid of the knowledge could be built. But we are forgetting the base, foundation. What is the foundation? Students' experience, cultural experience, background knowledge of the students should act as the foundation upon which the knowledge pyramid could be built. But we don't use those experience of the students. That's why now we give trace on experiential learning. What is meaningful learning? Two types of learning are there. Rote learning, and another is meaningful learning. Rote learning, as you know, memorization of facts. Rote learning means memorization of facts, memorization, exercise, drilling. It is rejected at present. Rote learning is rejected at present. Meaningful learning is given importance. Meaningful learning means new ideas. Children should learn, or students should learn new ideas by relating it with the old ideas. New ideas should be learned in relation to the existing ideas of the students. Student, when learn new ideas by relating with his existing ideas or old ideas, then learning will be meaningful. Then anything can be understood in a better way. That's why students' background knowledge, if we say background knowledge of the students or experience of the students that they have acquired from their own society or culture, should act as the foundation, should act as the world knowledge or background knowledge upon which new knowledge could be related or should be related. So learning can be meaningful. That's why experience of the students belong to different culture can be taken into account while dealing or teaching textual knowledge to the students. Some of the participants at the beginning had asked this question to me. Knowledge is everywhere. Knowledge is in the culture. Some of the students complain. I have in my time, English becomes very difficult on my part. English बहुत कष्ट सब्जेक्ट था हमारा टाइम में. very difficult subject. अरे क्या है ये स्टूडेंट हु इज टेकिंग एडमिशन, ये बच्चे जो पहले एडमिशन लेते हैं क्लास में, ये कल्चर, इनका कल्चर में, ये कल्चर से कल्चर और इनका सोसाइटी से कितने इंग्लिश वर्ड मालूम है इनको, जानते? ये छोटा बच्चे जब पहले स्कूल आते हैं एडमिशन लेने के लिए ये कितने इंग्लिश वर्ड इनको मालूम है? कब आप टेस्ट किया, कब आपको मालूम है कितने इंग्लिश वर्ड? मोर देन 500 इंग्लिश वर्ड्स. Without knowing English, students, a small child knows more than 500 English words. But why English becomes difficult for him? A student from his own culture, from his own home, from his own society have already known 500, 500 से ज्यादा इंग्लिश वर्ड इनको मालूम है. पहले बार जो क्लास में एडमिशन मिला, कप, फ्लैट, फैन, ट्रक, ट्रैक्टर, बस, ये तो कार, टैक्सी, कितने इंग्लिश वर्ड इनको मालूम है? कितनी साइकिल, अरे कितने स्विच, कप, प्लेट, चॉक, ये क्या है? ये क्यों इंग्लिश में फेल हो जाते? कहां से डिफिकल्ट है इनको इंग्लिश में? ये तो 500 इंग्लिश वर्ड इनको मालूम है मगर इनको इंग्लिश बहुत डिफिकल्ट होते. क्यों? कि हम इनका ये जो बैकग्राउंड नॉलेज जो इनका है, ये जो बेस, जो फाउंडेशन नॉलेज को हम ध्यान नहीं देते एज ए टीचर. जो टेक्स्ट में है ए फॉर एप्पल, बस, बी फॉर बैट, बस. अरे हे बी फॉर, ये तो इनको मालूम है बहुत बी का वर्ड है. बी फॉर बॉल इनको मालूम है, ओनली बैट, बैट तो डिफिकल्ट हो जाते. ऐसे डिफिकल्ट इनका जब कल्चरल नॉलेज, एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द स्टूडेंट, जो एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग, एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ जब स्टूडेंट का एक्सपीरियंस को हम यूज करेंगे टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस में, ये तो all will be benefited. It will be easy on the part of the student to understand everything. But textual knowledge, हमारा काम है, हमको ट्रेनिंग दिया हुआ, टेक्स्ट में जो है इनको बस बता दो, आपका काम. अरे टेक्स्ट को कैसे, टेक्स्ट को स्टूडेंट शुड अंडरस्टैंड द टेक्स्ट. how easily they can understand the text? If the textual knowledge should be related to the contextual knowledge, contextual experience, past experience of the student, then a student can easily understand it. इनको कोई दिक्कत नहीं हो सकती. इनका एक्सपीरियंस जो है, इनका एक्सपीरियंस से जब न्यू टेक्सचुअल नॉलेज को रिलेट कर सकते टीचर, ये तो बहुत अच्छा होगा इनका पास. ये क्या है? Very easy to understand. So we should take care of experience of the students while dealing with textual knowledge. Context should be taken into account. That is very important. And informal interaction, as I have already discussed with you, informal interaction, because teacher is a friend, philosopher, and guide, and treat all equally, respect each other's culture, interact with your teacher, interact with your students informally, like a friend. Informal way of interaction can solve many a problem which arises in multicultural classroom. And use of technology you can use to make students understand difficult textual contents. We can use technology, and we can use multiple skills, multiple methods, multiple techniques of teaching, pedagogy. As I have already told you, multiple way of communication. multiple examples from students' backgrounds, students' experience, examples, multiple examples of different cultures, multiple. And we, as a teacher, to deal with the students, we can use multiple methods, multiple skills, multiple examples, and that examples must be based upon students' experiences, examples from students' cultures we can use. That is very important to deal with students in a multicultural classroom. Now, the topic is open for discussion. You can raise your question, and I will try my level best to give answer your question or solve, or we jointly have to solve the question. Now, it is for open for discussion. Any problem, any something, something if you fail to understand relating to this, and your question must be related to the topic that I have already discussed. This is for discussion. This is discussion session. Now you can raise your problem or issues for discussion, and all should participate in discussion. Any question? No question. Sir, please explain instructional scaffolding. Yes. This word scaffolding comes so far as constructivist, you see, constructivist theory of learning is concerned. As I have already discussed with you, in 20th century, importance was given on behavioristic learning theories and behavioristic learning strategies and method of teaching. As you know, stimulus response, classical conditioning, operant conditioning, behavioristic model we are using while teaching with the students. Now, we are using constructivist models or designs of learning. Before going to talk on scaffolding, let me give some theoretical background. What happened in 20th century, psychologists conducted experiment with dogs, rats, pigeons, birds, dogs, animals, particularly animals. They conducted experimentation on animals and developed different learning theories. And those learning theories developed by psychologists after conducting experimentation with animals were applied for human learning. That is why that was a great problem in 20th century. Human beings are not animals. Are human beings beasts? Are human beings animals? Law of exercise, law of readiness, these laws were developed out of the experimentation with animals. Memorization of facts, memorization, rote learning. But human being is a rational animal. Human being has the ability to create, recreate new things. He's a rational animal. Human being should not be treated as a dog, cat. Yes, the theory of learning developed out of the experimentation with the beast or dogs can be applicable for the learning of animals, but that was applied for the learning of the human beings. Now, construct-based learning theory developed by Vygotsky, that scaffolding word used by Vygotsky, that they conducted experimentations on human children and developed construct-based learning strategies or methods, which are used all over the world at present under construct-based learning strategies. And so far as the construct-based learning strategies is concerned, learning is defined, as I have already discussed. Learning means knowledge construction or construction of knowledge. Construction of knowledge. And Vygotsky conducted experiment with children, taking children with a particular intellectual mental level, or that is mental ability. For example, mental age of the students, 9 years mental age, that he conducted taking students with 9 years mental age, a group of students with 9 years mental age, another group of students with 9 years mental age. And one group of students were given instructions through teacher-guided learning. Teacher-guided learning and cooperative learning method, peer. In the contact of one group of students learn out of teachers' contact, teachers' support, and their peers' support. Another group were left to learn on their own. After 2 years, he found out that the students who were come into contact with able teachers and able peers, their mental age were more than the students who are left to learn by themselves. The mental age of the students who were guided by, who come into contact with the able teachers and able students, their mental age height enhanced. And that word scaffolding means students' support of the able teachers and support of the able peers. Cooperative learning situation, when students come into contact with the support, means scaffolding of teachers, teachers support and students support, then their mental age enhances rapidly. That is what scaffolding is. Means support of the able teachers, talented teachers, teacher support. And students, their peer support. Then zone of proximal development, G, zone of proximal GPD, the difference between the mental age of the students who were taught by the support of the teachers, able teachers, and support of the able peers. Are not supported by able peers and who are left to learn by themselves. That difference is called what? Zone of proximal development. That is what. That is why the necessity of teacher support and support of the peers, their own friends. Peers means their own friends for development of mental age. That is why the word scaffolding is used for the support of the teachers and support of the peers. Okay, scaffolding. means support, teacher support. For construction work, for constructing a building, we use scaffolding, means support for the labor. Labor will use that scaffolding system to build a new house. That Rajamistri do scaffolding to ladder type, prepare ladder type scaffolding to construct a new building. That means support. It is something support to the laborers and support to the masons to build a new building. Okay. Any question? No question? Should I wind up this session? Okay, thank you, thank you. Let us
Sir, last question,
wind
sir.
up this session. Thank you.
सर क्वेश्चन सर प्लीज। जो हमारे एग्जाम है सर, अभी शायद 1 दिसंबर से हैं, उसमें किस टाइप के क्वेश्चन आएंगे और हमें किस टाइप से आंसर लिखना चाहिए उनका सर?
और एक बार पूछिए क्वेश्चन।
सर हमारे एग्जाम जो है सीपीडीटी के 1 दिसंबर से हैं जहां तक, तो अगर आपको उसके बारे में एक्सपीरियंस हो सर कि मतलब उसमें किस तरह के क्वेश्चन होंगे और हमें कैसा आंसर उसमें राइटिंग करना चाहिए, थोड़ा उसके बारे में सर गाइडेंस चाहिए।
A question, what type of question will you put? Whether it will be multiple choice or long type or short type questions are asked to you.
Yes, yes.
Hello.
सर
What type of question?
जहां तक
Multiple choice question.
हमें इसके बारे में सर इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है कि वहाँ कैसा रहेगा। फर्स्ट टाइम हम दे रहे हैं
मुझको
से, तो
मालूम नहीं
किस टाइप का क्वेश्चन रहेगा? मल्टीपल चॉइस रहेगा, डिस्क्रिप्टिव रहेगा? अगर डिस्क्रिप्टिव है तो कितने क्वेश्चन होंगे?
ये तो सब सारे चैप्टर से आएंगे ना। मेरा चैप्टर से जो क्वेश्चन आएंगे वो इनको आपको पूछेंगे। जो क्वेश्चन क्या क्या चैलेंज मल्टीपल क्लासरूम में क्या क्या चैलेंज है, मल्टीकल्चरल क्लासरूम में, मल्टीकल्चरल क्लासरूम का एडवांटेजेस क्या है, मल्टीकल्चरल क्लासरूम को स्टूडेंट को डील कैसे करेंगे, क्या क्या करेंगे, ये टाइप क्वेश्चन है। मल्टीकल्चरल क्लासरूम का अर्थ क्या है?
यस सर, यस सर।
व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय मल्टीकल्चरल